What's up, everybody? YouTubers, thanks for coming back and watching us on the Dope channel. I'm Zach, and I got another video for you, some more stuff to the purple truck. We have some traction bars. They are by VA Fab, I believe is what their website is. I'll put a link down below. So we've got, let's see, what do we got? It comes with everything you need. There's a bracket to mount it to the bottom of where the U-bolts come through. That's what those are. Then these mount. We got the two bars, one for each side. Everything's super nice and powder coated nicely, and the welds are really nice, and the finish on everything is nice. It all looks like it's plasma cut. We got some plates. They gave us a dope ass sticker, and then the little bumpers to hit the leaf spring perch. A little bushing. Comes with all the Heims and everything that you need. It's going to be pretty legit. Kind of an issue with trucks in general is they're light in the back and they don't have a lot of traction. I'm going to go through and install. Also, sorry, where did I put that stuff? I got some paint for inside the fender, because where the truck is notched inside the wheel wells. I just got this rust tough enamel, eliminates rust. You can paint right over rust with this. I'm still going to sand it down, or like use a wire brush on a grinder or drill. Getting some surface rust on some of like where the bed is cut and the wheel well is notched out, and it's got trailer fenders and whatever else welded in. So I'm just going to go over that stuff again with the paint, just to, I don't want to have any issues with it, and I'm going to be in there anyways, and I'll just go ahead and go over all that again and put the traction bars on. And I'll give you guys a step-by-step from how I understand it, at least, of how you're supposed to mount these traction bars. So I'm going to get the truck jacked up, get the wheels off. I forgot to tell you this, I also have helper bags on this truck, because sometimes I would put motorcycles in the bed, and I built all these brackets and there's a crossbars up on the top to go across to the notch, and I put that on there, and then in the license plate there's airlines running from the bags to the license plate, and then these are valve stems, and you just air them up, level the truck back up. I put that on there back in September last year, and we drove this. I didn't have the green truck yet, and we drove this to Tennessee with two motorcycles in the bed, just rolling down the highway, no issues. This thing was killing it, getting 20 miles a gallon with two motorcycles in the back, and then you just aired up the bags, and it was good. But I have the other truck now. I honestly don't need it on there. I'm going to leave the bars and everything in, because if I ever want to do a shock relocation or 4-link on this, I've already got the bars. I can mount the shocks too. But I am going to go ahead and remove the bags and all the lines. It's either rust, it's just surface rust. I'm going to go ahead and do that. All these spots and paint over it and wire wheel the inside of the wheel well. But this is all a trailer tub. And then the floor is notched in the bed frame, in the floor of the bed. And the frame, obviously. I might do a little bit on these spots on the frame. Just scuff it up, get the rust down. I went up in top of there and knocked all the rubber chunks off. I got to do right here real quick. And right here, just get the rubber chunks out, and then do the other side and then paint it. So that looks a lot better. That looks pretty good. Much better than the two colors and the white and the rust, and it's just covering it up, which maybe help keep it from getting rustier and having holes rusted through it and whatever else. Now I'm gonna pull the bags off. I think the bag's only got 2 or 3 or 4 bolts. Pretty easy, quick disconnect lines. So I'm gonna pull the bags off of it real fast, and then we'll start on the traction bar install. First thing you gotta do is remove this clamp. You cut the rivet flush, and then you remove the clamp, and you have to leave the pin of the rivet sticking through, so that way you can line up the bracket that mounts here. It has a hole and it sits on that pin. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to grind them off, and then I'll just cut it here and push it off. Okay, so after you cut that bracket off, This bar will go on, and it's got 2 holes. One, this truck, it's oblong shaped, but so this is how it has to go, and then it has a top plate. You put the 4 bolts in it. I'm just gonna run them up so this thing's not flopping around on me. Except for my impact's going the wrong way. There we go. I went ahead and put my floor jack under the frame there because the rear end was sitting on the jack stand, so if I loosen those, it's going to try and go up. So I'm just going to do it one side at a time. I'm just going to swap this plate out and then let it back down on this side once I get the other plate on. Alright, that's that one side. You probably can't hear me over the compressor again. That's that one side. I'm going to go and do the other side, and then I'm going to let the truck back down on the rear end because you can't put these on with the suspension unloaded. It has to be like if it was sitting on the ground or at ride height. And putting it on jack stands, I'm not even sure that that's going to work. I might have to set it all the way down on the floor. Okay, here's where we're at. This plate is on. Both the sandwich plate holding the spring together. Good. Got this on. Take the U-bolts out. Put this on. It's your new bottom plate. I did it to the other side already because you don't need to see it twice. It's all the same. It's 4 bolts. 4 bolts. You got to cut that bracket off this thing, and don't cut the pin. Cut it flush and then knock it off because the pin aligns this thing. Welcome back. I know it's weird, but in the middle of the video to be telling you welcome back. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you what happened. The traction bars. One of the bars, I don't remember which one. Probably this one. One of the bars, the threads in the bar, where this pine threads into the bar, was messed up. So I had to get in. It wasn't my fault or anything. I called VAS and told them what was going on, and they said that they had a problem with their manufacturer that manufactures those bar ends. They weld to the bars. They had a problem with them being too small, and then people were putting them in, and the threads are messing up. This all happened before Christmas, and now it's April 17th. Now I got the bars back, I think the very beginning maybe of February is when I got the 1 bar back, because I just sent them back to 1 bar, and so it took them about a month or so, month and a half to get me the bar. And now it's April and I've had other stuff going on, so but anyways, I'm getting back to finishing it right now. So it's been what, 4 months since I started this video, and this is the other end of it. So as you guys saw, I got one side is on the plate, the bracket that goes underneath the, what's it called, the underneath the leaf spring. Actually, I think both of those are on. Let me check. Yeah, so both of those, nope. Yeah, both of those brackets that mount the rear end to the leaf spring are on. I've got to mount the front bracket to the passenger side, and then I got to mount the 2 bars and adjust them. So I've got to go and cut that little C-clip deal off of the leaf spring like I showed in the other video, on the first bar. Then I just have to mount the bars and adjust them off their, what they tell you to do. I believe it's been a while since I looked at this. You have to have the weight of the truck. Yeah, the full weight of the truck should be on the ground. Do not install the bar with the truck in the air. This will cause extreme preload and raise the rear of the truck. Make sure both heim joints are equally spaced before installing the bars. Like I said, the bracket for the back is on right here, and I've got to cut this off, this little C, and that other bracket clamps on right there, and then I just got to put the bars on. I realized after the fact that I was putting this bracket on backwards. I don't know if you'll be able to see the other side, but it's hanging down with the like sloped part is the other way. Like I had to turn it around because I tried to put the bar on. Oh, there's some fags driving by. I tried to put the bar on, and the thing was way back here, and the bar was way too long. So I was like, oh, that must be backwards. But now to adjust. Camera. You turn the bar and that thing pushes up. This is how you set your preload. Now I'm not sure if it's supposed to be touching or if it's supposed to be backed off a little or what. Some people say though that these make the truck ride hard, which make me think if they have them touching all the time, now it has to fight this bar for the suspension to be able to compress. But that's how it looks. Brian's over there trying to be sneaky. Can you see him in the camera? He's over there against his van. Supposed to be, now I gotta go to the other side and flip that bracket over and put the other bar on, and then I'll have to lower it on the ground and adjust the bars and tighten the jam nuts. Just reach it down here, turn this bar, boom, touching. I just don't know if you want it touching or if you want it not touching. I'm not sure. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have it right where it touches, and then I'm just gonna lock the bars down with the nuts. And hopefully I can get to that back one with the truck being super low. I can reach it through the wheel and spin it up, like I'm spinning it up. I just hope I can lock it down. What I've read on the internet is people say that these traction bars make the truck like feel like it's gonna lift up when it takes off. So I'm curious if I feel that. And they also said it makes them ride harder. Well, I don't feel that right now. It feels about the same. Yeah, I mean, it might be a tiny bit stiffer in the back, but I'd also, earlier when I was driving, I had a bunch of shit back there. Now it's empty. I cleaned the whole bed out. It doesn't feel really any different. Just driving around. But I'm going to let it warm up a little, and then I'm going to jump on it some and see how it feels. But people say that when they take off with this style traction bar, it's like it, you can feel like the back of the truck's like lifting, because the way that these work, it pushes, as the leaf spring gets pushed down by the axle, the bar pushes up and it pushes, or sorry, as the leaf spring tries to twist up, the bar pushes forward and it triangulates and pushes back down on the rear diff, but it makes the truck feel like it's lifting almost. Hit the traction control button. Just gave her a little goose when we leave this stop sign. It didn't help at all there. It spun and got sideways. And I'm trying to drive it with one hand. Do some researching into what it takes to make them, to like how you're supposed to set those bars. I don't really know. But like if you're supposed to set them with room to slap for the thing to pivot and move, or if you're supposed to set them touching, I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to set them. So no big deal though. I mean, I can always adjust them. It's super simple to adjust them. I can definitely feel like a difference, but it's not like extreme difference. It definitely doesn't try to wheel hop or anything, which is, I guess, which is part of the traction bar thing, is to keep them from wheel hopping. Like you can just get a good hook and just take off. I think that's going to be the end of the video, you guys. That's an install on the VA Specialties or VAS Fab traction bar kit for the Silverado. I got the low pro kit because the truck's got more. I think their low pro kit is for 7 and lower inches of drop, and this truck's got 9. So yeah, I think all in all it's a good product. They did have a bar. I did have a bar that was messed up and I had to send it back, and it took like a month and a half to get it back, and they were real cool about it though. I called them and they were like, yeah, definitely send it back, we'll hook you up, we'll get another bar, blah blah blah, and everything worked out real well. It just took me forever to get them and get it back installed, but all in all I'm happy with it. I think the truck runs, it feels like, instead of just squatting and just spinning the tires, it like, I can feel it, like it tries to squat and then it like picks it up, and then you can feel it's just riding out on top of the tire instead of squishing down and trying to, because it would wheel hop sometimes, and it didn't do that at all, and I gave it a few good hits. All in all, I'm real happy with it. I think it's going to be a big difference, especially if I get some slicks for it or some radials or something. I think it'll be a lot better. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, everything there is. Have a good one.